What's your reaction to their meeting?
Stephen A. brought this up. We've been talking about it, that there seems to be a different reaction to this depending on the sport you play. Stephen A., if you'd like to start.
I'd like to start.
Oh.
Let me get right to it.
Okay.
I have no problem with Major League Baseball. They're obviously catching up with the times, and they're addressing this the way that it should be addressed. The 75-game suspension speaks for itself. I don't have that big of a problem with the Houston Astros. Obviously, if you're Verlander and others, you would think that they would have the kind of cachet where the Houston Astros as an organization, the reigning defending World Series champions, would pay attention to the guys that actually helped deliver it. And because they're, strong advocates against domestic violence, this is something that the Houston Astros as an organization would have liked to have not participated in by bringing him on board from the Blue Jays. My biggest issue is with the public. If this were an NBA or an NFL player, everyone would be in an uproar. They'd be calling for dudes' careers to be over. They would sit there and say they have no place in the league. It is a privilege to play this sport. You don't belong in here. We don't want you here. A suspension is not good enough. I'm not saying it would actually happen, which is why I'm not pointing to the league. And I'm not pointing to the team per se. I'm talking about the public. See, this is one of the problems. When we sit here and we talk about something the president has done, or folks' reaction to the president, or the divisive times that we're living in and what have you, but we forget to hold ourselves accountable. In this country, if this were a National Football League player or a National Basketball Association player, people would be calling for their careers to be over. If it wasn't
I'm inferring from you saying that you're saying that the NBA is predominantly a black league, the NFL, that's what you are in fact implying.
Yes, it is.
See, because I think, I hear what you're saying. Osuna, by the way, is
and I'm talking about the public.
Is 23 years old.
Right.
He's an excellent reliever. He was an all-star last year. He has an ERA for his career now, going on his fourth season, under 3. He has a whip, walks and hits to innings pitched under 1.
That's right. I'm looking at his numbers.
Tremendous.
His numbers are right here.
He's a very good relief pitcher, so he can help the team, right?
Yes, he is, and they need him.
It's funny. You may be right about the overlapping with race here. But, and maybe it's even causal. It's not just correlated with it. But I'll say this. It's odd the way this happens. Some sports, you get away with some stuff you shouldn't more than others. For example, PEDs. If you get caught juicing in baseball, that stays with you. People are in such an uproar, they can't believe it.
Doesn't even matter in football.
And by the way, in baseball, you're not really physically hurting anybody.
Right.
In football, you could kill somebody. Right. Certainly add to their the maladies they'll have after their career. It's legitimately dangerous, and no one cares. You get suspended for PEDs, you serve a 4-game suspension. No one even ever brings it up again, hardly, compared to baseball. In other words, somehow you can get away with juicing in football, but not in baseball, and it's more dangerous in football than in baseball. There have been lots of incidents of this in Major League Baseball, I think, and in football, more than in the NBA, it seems. I think that has to do with the size of the roster.
Do you think talent's trumping integrity here?
Of course.
Not racial, it's that? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I think it's much. Well, it's not that it's much. It's that that for whatever reason, and we could analyze that. In baseball, this seems to be not the focus of ire the way it is in football.
That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah. And see, that's the whole point. I'm not inferring that Major League Baseball did it. I'm not inferring that the Astros did it. I'm simply talking about Joe Public, the level of attention. Listen, let a couple of brothers get in a fight on a football field or on the basketball court. Oh, what's the matter? The thuggery. I mean, we've got to do something about this. But did they fight in hockey? Hey, they fight in baseball. Oh, they'll handle it themselves. There's a standard.
Let them self-police.
Let them self-police. Let me ask you a question.
I just want you to know females were fired up. I can't speak to the rest, but I know females were very outspoken.
But again, I'm only talking about the public. I'm not saying it's non-existent.
Yep.
I'm saying I don't hear it enough. I gotta look like Hulk Hogan, putting my finger in my hands to my ear, or Allen Iverson. Let me hear it, because I don't hear hear it.
Why do you
and
think?
that's what I'm talking about.
I hear you. And
that's what I'm saying.
It may be related to race. Why do you think I can take another issue like PEDs?
Right.
And we can't even remember which players got suspended in the NFL for PEDs and served a suspension.
That's true.
Who cares?
That's true.
But in baseball, McGuire, Sosa, Bonds ain't getting into the Hall of Fame.
Because the sport is cherished, and individual cheating that buffers those numbers is an offense to America's national pastime.
Interesting.
That's why.
That's
Quite a double standard. I just want to say this and remind you, the Astros had a zero-tolerance policy against domestic violence.
That's not zero, is it?
This is
By the way,
laughable. Don't even institute the policy.
And by the way,
You're
Molly,
making a mockery
for
of it.
those that are quick, because people going to come at me and they're going to be like, Stephen A. Here he is.
Race baiting or
Let me tell
whatever,
you something right now. We sit on this show and every other show calling out black athletes every day.
Yep.
I don't hear those calls then.
All right.